Hello, boys and girls and parents at home. I hope we are all keeping safe and warm during this time of lockdown. It's really difficult times of our lives and history, but let's thank God that He is still faithful and He is still in control. I must say that I really miss those faces of boys and girls, especially the primary class. I hope you guys are good and you're doing your work, school work at home, and you are learning new things, and that when we meet again, we'll share the things that we have learned during this time. Now, today it's my turn to tell you the story. Obviously, we have beautiful stories from the Bible. So even today, our story is found in the Bible, which I will share with you today. Now, a long time ago, in the land of Persia Empire, there lived a king. His name was King Ahasuerus. So now this king was looking for a wife, and he happened to rule over many lands, that is including the land of the Hebrew people. So one day he saw this beautiful girl and fell in love with this girl. Her name was Esther. So Esther became the queen of this Persian empire. Now, Esther had a secret. What was Esther's secret? Nobody knew that Esther was a Hebrew. Many people in the Persian Empire did not like the Hebrews. They just did not trust them. They just had this hatred towards them. That is why Mordecai, who was the cousin of Esther, told them not to tell anyone that she was a Hebrew. One day, the king's assistant, which was Haman, made a plan, an awful plan, bad plan, to kill all the Hebrew people. Fortunately, Mordecai, who was, as I said earlier on, the cousin of Esther, find out or discovered about this plan on time and sent a word to Esther to save her people. You can just imagine how difficult it was for Esther during this time, because she knew that if she goes and tells the king, she was at risk of being killed herself and also the rest of her people as well. But Esther was brave. She took that risk and went to the king. So when she went to the king, she proposed two things: that the king should hold the grand feast, two grand feasts actually. This made the king very happy. So Esther's request was granted by the king. But the night before the feast, the king discovered something that long time ago Mordecai had saved his people. So the next day, on the day of the feast, which is now on the day of the feast, the king rewarded Mordecai. As we can see, king gave Mordecai some goodies to thank Mordecai for saving his life as a king and saving his people way before. And Esther went to the king as well. There was something that Esther wanted to ask the king. What was it? So Esther told the king that, "King, I am a Hebrew, and I want you please to save the people, my people, and save myself as well." And Esther was scared to tell the king this, but she was brave enough and prepared for anything. But thank God that the king heard Esther's request and granted her request. And for Haman, the king put Haman to death and saved the Hebrew people, all thanks to the brave Queen Esther. So children, this is a wonderful story that we hear from the Bible. And like I said, that there's a lot of stories that are wonderful and have our message that we get from the Bible. So today's story teaches us that bravery lies in helping others. As we know that we're living during this time, difficult times, where we have to keep social distance, where we have to not to see other people. We don't see our families, some of them that are far. We don't see our friends. We don't see our friends from church. We don't even see each other right now. But we still have to do God's work. That is to tell others about the love of God, the little that we can do, and be brave enough and tell that Jesus is coming back again. So children, that is the message for today, that let us be brave enough. Let us not fear, because God is still in control. So for now, we'll hear the memory verse for our story, and after that, we will pray.
Thank you. The verse for us today, we're gonna take it from the Bible. We're gonna find it at Esther 4, verse 14. For if you remain silent at a time like this, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place, but you and your relatives will die. And who knows, you were made a queen for such a time like this. Let us pray. Our Father who art in heaven, Lord, thank you, Lord, for being with us. Be with the families who lost loved ones. Be with the children we don't see at church. Let us be able to renew and come back to your holy place. And I pray to you, our Father, in the name of Christ. Amen.